Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and haunted entertainment industry. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we're back again, still with Dwayne Sanburn of the 13th Gate Haunted House. Necropolis 13, I will remember it this time.
Yes.
Because only 5 minutes has passed. That's for that enough. And, of course, the 13th Gate Room Escapes. And that is what we're primarily focusing on today. This episode is the room escapes. So, you've got two attractions.
Yes.
Both of which are successful. You've got this very popular, absolutely bonkers haunted house. And yet, for some reason, you decided to add the stress and the headache and the tension, I'm sure, into your personal and professional life of opening up a room escape.
Because I had just a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, what the hell were you thinking?
I didn't think I thought I was really busy until I opened an escape game, and then I found out what busy really is.
Right.
No, it's been really great for us doing the escape games. They're a tremendous amount of fun designing and building. They take a long time to build. That's the only bad part about it is that we have a lot of customers waiting on us. Impatiently to open the next one, and we're luckily about to open a new one in about a week. And but they do take a long time to build. But other than that, they've been a lot of fun, and it's been great for us having additional income throughout the year, and we're lucky enough to have the space to do it right next to the haunted house. So.
Right. And how have you breached that, the customers into thinking about the 13th Gate whenever it's not Halloween?
Well, I think we've been lucky that we have a recognizable brand here in Baton Rouge. So when we started saying the 13th Gate Escape.
The 13th Gate Escape. I was trying to remember the exact name, but thank you.
It definitely helped bring recognition and have people to come out because they knew our product already, what we could do. So that certainly helped our escape games when we started advertising for them. On the flip side of that, a lot of people thought it was scary.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of questions that we had to answer about, no, this is not scary. This is something different. And I think it also is because a lot of people don't understand what escape game is yet.
Right.
Even now, 2 years into this industry, approaching 2 years for us, a lot of people still don't know exactly what escape game is. So there's still a lot of education to be done to tell people, what is it you can expect. And it's hard to describe also because you don't want to give too much away.
Right.
Right. Well, and one of the ways I've always described it is it's like the games online.
Sure.
Yeah.
Escape games. I mean, okay, my understanding is they existed in like Japan and so forth as physical places.
Sure. But
they became very popular in the States on the internet first, these flash-based games, and then physical ones started becoming...
It was started, you're right, in Japan, China, and then it filtered over into Canada about 6-7 years ago and just took over in Canada. And we saw that a few were coming into the States a couple years ago, and I thought, wow, this is fantastic. I'd love to do this. So I took a couple guys with me and some other haunt owners that I called, and all of us flew up to Canada, and we saw quite a few in Toronto in a few days.
Right.
And I think we saw 17 in 3 days. And
wow.
We were there. And there's like 60 there at the time that were in operation.
How brain dead were you after doing 17?
I think 3 is a maximum you should do in a day.
I did 2 back-to-back on Saturday here, and I was white. That was my day right there.
I think so, because we were pretty much zombified. We weren't escaping too many of them.
Not at the end of that.
No.
I will say that yours are the most challenging.
Thank you.
Well, the ones we've tried so far.
Yeah, they're not easy. They're not meant to be easy puzzles as long as they're entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
One thing when we did go up to Canada, I saw that was lacking in many of the. It's not all, but many of the escape games that we saw was any kind of set design. It was all puzzle based, and then so I felt like that we could bring another element to it that would make it better.
Yeah.
And then so we started on it in July. I guess it's been 2 years. Yeah, this will be 2 years coming up in July that we've been open. And we started with 2 rooms, and then we built the tomb. We started with Collector and Death Row, and then we built the tomb, and now we have Agent 13 opening up, and we plan to build 2 more after that.
Wow.
Yeah. And you got the space for it in the building to build 2 more?
Yes, luckily we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a lot of replayability, or do you think?
No, I think the tomb has people coming back to play a second time if they don't get through it all.
Right.
But for the most part, there's not any replayability. But it's not like a haunted house. It's very low throughput. I mean, it's 4 to 8 people at a time, so it's a lot of audience there that can experience the escape games that haven't yet. Not only the demographic of a haunted house, but also corporate groups, which is a completely different market from what we're used to using.
Right.
And that is starting to take off tremendously for us.
Very good. Yeah, I was about to ask you.
Yeah, we just added a big
room?
meeting room for corporate groups. Our biggest customer right now is Exxon. They've been out probably 40 times.
Wow. I would say that's pretty successful for corporate. Yeah.
It is. So when you made the decision to get into this business, what were some of the challenges you faced initially? What were some of the initial big hurdles?
Well, I think the biggest one was with permitting and construction permits and things like that. Just trying to get building inspectors to understand exactly what this was.
Right. That were locking people in prison.
Yeah, and then as I said before, the fire marshal, the city fire marshal understood because they're out here a lot. So we had in October, so we had a lot of time to talk about it.
Right.
So they were okay with what we were doing. But I did get a call from the state fire marshal to come up and talk for a little bit. We did submit plans to the state fire marshal, and then they passed without any issues. But after that, with more escape games coming in, they called us back to ask us more questions, mainly exactly what it was. They were afraid that people were getting locked up in rooms. And, and that's one of the things. And I have been to a lot of escape games, unfortunately, that do lock the doors on you when you go in. And I think that, especially going forward in the expansion of this industry in the States, that's one thing that I think that you don't have to do. It's not necessary. Our escape games, the door you enter is not the exit. It's just your emergency exit. So you're trying to find the other exit out, and people forget about it. It does not change the gameplay at all or affect the game at all.
Usually, if you say something like, "Oh, if you open that door, you can't come back in," or something like that, then I never look at that door again.
No, it doesn't bother anyone.
Mm-mm.
So there's really no reason to really lock someone up where they can't get out in case of an emergency.
Yeah, we didn't play it, but we heard about one in Mobile that they actually put you in handcuffs and shackles type thing. I've heard of that. So, but that is interesting because in a haunt, you generally want people to know where they're going. To be able to see the path so that it doesn't interfere with your throughput too much. But in an escape room, a lot of times you are in just a room and you don't know where you're going.
It gives us a chance to tell a little bit more story. When you go through the haunt, everyone's it's a continuous walk through, and you don't really get all the details of what's going on. Even if we build in more, a lot of people don't get it because they're running.
Right.
Yes.
Like their eyes closed or screaming or whatever.
I'm always amazed how many track stars visit our haunts.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
It's a great opportunity for us to slow down everything and okay, let's tell a story, and you are part of that story.
Right.
And whatever story it is, an adventure or horror film or whatever, you're the main character in it. So it's very unique and a lot of fun. It's great, different type of entertainment. And
it also shows off your design skills really well.
It gives us an opportunity to build things that we couldn't build in a haunted house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was surprised that you had incorporated the scents into the ones here.
Yeah.
Because you take it to the next level as far as the design goes. Because we've played several locally and in other states, and it just always impressive.
And when people ask about the escape rooms, I always say if you like the 13th Gate Haunted House, you'll like the escape games. It's very much the same design philosophy.
And if you haven't been to either, what are you doing with your life?
Okay. If you live in the area and you're listening to this podcast and you haven't been to either, please question your life decisions at the shelter. just ask some hard questions now. But yeah, I mean, I truly do enjoy that, and I think one of the things that for you guys has been really good is how much of the attention to detail you can actually show off.
Yeah.
Because even I go through haunts slower than all hell. I admit it. Us haunter types, we're going through looking at everything we can.
No,
you're the guy backing everybody.
Yes, I am. It's my fault. I let people play through. I don't care. But I mean, I go through haunts slow. I admit it. But even then, you're still passing just from room to room. You're not spending any significant time in any one place. So all that detail work might not be so thoroughly noticed.
Right.
But you do see that in an escape room, and that
you certainly can't interact with
exactly.
it.
Right.
And that can work for or against you if it's a haunt like if it's an escape room such as yours, where that attention to detail is on par and everything makes sense. It adds to it, builds to it, and it's really, really good. But if it's one like we've done elsewhere, where it looked kind of like we did a casino game, it looked like they'd set up a casino room in an old folks' home.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, the puzzles were on point, man. I loved the puzzles. I loved the challenges. It was a fun escape room still. But being locked in an hour, what felt like a conference room at a retirement home was a little brutal. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was definitely an out-of-the-box game.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that is happening is now we're getting chains that are opening up escape rooms all over the country, and so I think there's a couple of competing chains right now.
They're actually going in everywhere. It's insane. I think there's 16, 17 in the state of Louisiana now.
Wow.
Right.
I know there's at least 5 or 6 in New Orleans where we're at.
Yeah.
And
some of them are very good, and others have been thrown together. But I think after given enough time, it'll all sort itself out.
Yeah. Do you think
the good
that
ones will last, and the ones that have just been thrown together, just like a haunted house.
Right.
They don't have any. I don't think they'll be in business for a long period of time.
And that leads to one of the natural next question. Do you think this is an industry that's getting overly saturated? Or do you think...
I think there are a lot of people who are trying to jump on a bandwagon, not because they love any part of the game, but because they see a fast dollar. And the same thing has happened over the years with haunted houses. People show up at the haunt and they see the line and they think, oh, I can do this.
That's $25 a ticket, $25 a head. Sure. Yeah, sure, that's all the money.
And as you know, if you don't love what you do, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah, and what they forget is that also that it's a 365-day-a-year occupation, and you're only making that kind of money a couple of nights.
Games are exactly like haunts. They require a lot of attention and a lot of work to do it right. And so if you're not if you're not ready to invest that into it, then you probably won't be as successful as you could be.
Okay.
Are you worried at all about this possibly being a fad, though? Because, I've been seeing escape games mentioned on network television constantly.
Sure.
And I'm a little bit worried, about like the Pokemon Go syndrome here?
I don't think so, because if going back to Canada, they're still going strong. They're at 6, 7, 8 years now, and they have a tremendous amount of people who love to play them, and I think it's, as long as it's quality entertainment, and if you talk to, I mean, the majority of the people who come and play one game here end up playing all of them because they love it. After you get one in, you're
got to do the chum.
You're hooked, and you want to play another one. So it's really fun and different kind of entertainment. I don't think it's going anywhere as long as it's good. I mean, if you have an area that has a lot of thrown together ones, someone plays one or two, they don't like it, then they're done.
Right.
But again, just like haunted houses, but as long as they're getting good, fun entertainment, I think they're going to stay.
Yeah. You mentioned that you do a lot of the design also on the room escapes. Do you come up with the puzzles, or do you find those?
We do a lot of beta testing. I do a lot of changes and adds, and
right.
And some of them are a little harder than it should be. And then I get a lot of ideas from video games, and as you know, you've played Agent 13, a lot of influence from Portal there. Mm-hmm. So I'll pick up wherever I can any idea I can, but they're a lot of fun, and just like the haunted house, I don't want to give up to someone else to do that. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Continue to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy. You're a gamer and a horror movie buff at heart on both, and you sometimes wear your influences on your sleeve.
Yeah.
And it comes through in both the haunted and the room escape. But it to me, it's always amusing, especially to see things that from video games I enjoy. Mm-hmm. Like, not necessarily the exact same thing, obviously, but a real world
that you recognize.
Yeah, for sure. An influence that I recognize in the cast and go, hey!
Yeah.
This is kind of like...
And for the horror fan, they do love seeing those Easter eggs scattered throughout,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So, how has the room escape been working out for you? Has it been just a good, steady stream of...
It's been fantastic.
Okay.
We've been very happy. Like I said, though, they are, just like the haunt, it's a tremendous amount of work. And if you're not ready to devote all of your time to it, I wouldn't recommend doing it. So it's a tremendous amount of work, just like the haunt. But for us, they've been very, very beneficial to our business.
Do you think that it's detrimental at all to the haunt, working so much on the escape rooms?
No, I think in the past, I think we were putting a lot of time in things in the haunt that, I think I had extra time that could have been focused on other things, and luckily for me and my crew has grown.
Right.
So I was having to find things for them to do throughout the year instead of let's focus our attention on something that's going to be beneficial. So it was great for us and my crew.
Right.
And my crew's actually grown a little bit since then. Now we're very busy throughout the year, which is good for all of us.
Right.
I'm a little more busy than I should be, but everyone else is busy enough.
It can make haunting full-time work for everybody.
That's right.
Bring everybody up.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you notice there's any cyclical nature? Is it truly the room escape? Is it truly working for you 12 months out of the year, or is there definitely a bump when the haunt is open?
Oh, definitely. July and October are our busiest months.
July and October.
Yeah,
that's a weird pairing of months.
July, I guess, because everyone's out of school.
Yeah,
and October because everyone's here already. So we're pretty much solidly booked in October.
Yeah.
And then we have up and down days depending on what's going on in Baton Rouge.
Conferences and LSU and.
Yeah.
There's LSU even in the NCAA tournament. I don't have any clue. I don't sports ball. I seriously don't know enough. I know University of South Carolina did well.
Yeah.
It's my alma mater.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are some of the challenges you see going forward with Room Escapes? I know you said education is a tough one.
Sure.
Trying to educate people,
and
bring more people into the fold.
The longer and the escape games grow and this industry grows, more and more media attention, and it's already getting a lot of media attention, as you said. People are going to understand more and more what they are and experience them for themselves, to try them out for themselves. Every time someone tries it out, it's great for us because it's great word of mouth. Escape games, one great thing about it, unlike the haunted house where you have to spend a tremendous amount of money on advertising to say, hey, we're here again, hey, it's Halloween, remember, we're open. Escape games work a lot on just word of mouth, and so it's been great for us that it generates so much positive word of mouth.
Yeah.
Did that answer the question? I'm not sure.
I think so. Well, but are there any challenges that you see forthcoming?
Challenges. Creating new games is a challenge. Educating the public. It's just work. That's what it is. It's hard work. With anything successful, that you want to make successful, you got to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. And I don't think there's anything that we haven't faced already that's going to slow us down in any way, shape, or form. So we can deal with whatever it is. Industry-wide challenges, safety is a big concern of mine, as I mentioned.
Right.
Luckily Transworld has stepped up and is really starting to do a lot for
Room Escape City, 25% of the trade show floor. We've been talking about this every week.
Right. So that's great. I'm excited to see what's new in the escape game industry and what new gadgets that everyone's come up with. And there's a lot of education, a lot of seminars this year on escape games, so that's good. Yeah.
And that is one thing we've noticed just doing the podcast is the number of conferences focusing on room escapes.
Yeah.
I would say roughly half the conferences we're tracking now are focused either entirely or very heavily on room escapes.
Sure.
Yeah, but you mentioned in Canada, there's one coming up that's New York, Canada.
It's right in Niagara Falls. They're at the border.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
In fact, we're doing a discussion there with Rise and Clue Carre. We're all going to be on a panel together talking. So that'll be.
And then you fight to the death. No, wait.
No, we've been very lucky. I think a lot of the Louisiana-based escape games are really good. We're good friends with Clue Carre and the Mortuary and as well.
I know Clue Carre was on your leaderboard for a while.
They are. They're really good players. So they are on our board.
Who knew building an escape game might make you a good escape game player? Who knew, right?
They have the top score for Asian right now, too. They did really well. And Escape My Room and of course, Rise has fantastic games also.
And we have not done Rise yet. That is next on our to-do list.
Yeah, they've got some great ones.
Yeah, that or Clue Carre. We've done Escape My Room NOLA.
Right.
Did enjoy that one. That was actually a lot of fun. Very different.
Yeah, sure.
Very, very different.
I think they're all different. And it's one thing that has also interjected a lot of excitement in the haunt industry is that we've been doing haunted houses and the same kind of thing for so long that when you first started haunted houses, everything was new and I got 1,000 ideas and and then after a while it's like, okay, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? And it's a big challenge every year. But now this escape game's come along. It's been great design wise. It injected a lot of excitement into the industry about, oh wow, I could do anything,
right?
Any theme, anything. And make an escape game out, whatever you can imagine. So it's a lot of fun to build these.
Do you see any crossover from the escape room side going back into the haunted house?
You mean
like ideas or?
Sure.
Any of the innovations?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff that's coming out that certainly could have applications in both.
Yeah. Right.
And one of the things I personally have enjoyed about the escape games, and one of the things that I think it could be beneficial to the haunt industry in general, is because it does shift that focus on the storytelling, which is, I know you've been big on since day one, but a lot of other haunts have not really focused on.
Right.
And so if you're going to have people trapped in a room for an hour, you'd better damn well have a story to tell them while they're there.
Right.
Something for them to do.
Yeah.
Some reason for them to be there, something for them to do while they're there. So and maybe I'm hoping haunts that maybe don't think about storytelling will pick up on that. And will take that into their haunt and see how much that really can add to the experience. But so what are some of the bigger innovations you think we're seeing in this game? This is such a quickly evolving market.
A lot of tech. A tremendous amount of tech. We use, in going back to applications, we've always used boo boxes, for example, in our haunted house.
Right.
And now they have expanded those out greatly. And what they can do now with the escape game additions, I was thinking the other day, man, all the new additions and what I could do with that in the haunt now. So that's a great thing that... So tech is one of the things. There's a lot of stuff coming out. We try to build a lot of our props in-house and a lot of our tech in-house, so it's more custom, and I think it's a lot it's almost required to do it in-house instead of getting someone to build something for us, because the backlog on orders on even small simple things for escape games is a long period of time. The demand is so high for tech, so we've had to add a lot of expanded our business in tech in an area that we hadn't done before. So we've got a lot of electronics now, and 2 people who do electronics here, technical directors that work on the escape games and build a lot of stuff for us.
Right.
We built a CNC machine so we could build custom props. That's something that we had never had for the haunted house. But now we'll definitely use it.
Well, duh.
So, you got it.
So, it's certainly changed and has applications for both. Yeah.
And I like to say that outside of Silicon Valley, you're going to be hard-pressed to find an industry with more Raspberry Pis per or Raspberry Pi style things
or Arduinos
or whatever.
Right.
Per business than here, because we love that stuff, and it's always fascinating how quickly we, as an industry, evolve on the tech side when it comes to things within our haunts and within our escape rooms. But sometimes we don't keep up so well with the internet and the social media and the website side of things.
That's a whole other job in itself. That's the problem. It's so time.
We're not a tech-phobic industry. That's the point. So, doing all these escape rooms and putting forth all this effort, have you had anything that just didn't work, didn't click, didn't come together? Anything that...
Well, I think our first 2 games worked very well right out of the gate. The third game was definitely a next generation game, the Tomb. We put in a lot of tech in there and a lot of big pieces that are automated. The walls move, and there's a lot of things happening in the set. I wanted it to be kind of a Indiana Jones type moment,
Right.
And that was a lot of mechanical issues coming out of the gate for us to get just right. We had to get a lot of things fabbed and redesigned, and we had a lot of problems with the Tomb in the beginning, because there are so many huge, heavy moving parts in it. But now it's all worked itself out. But this definitely was a challenge to create a game like that. And in Agent 13, luckily we had more time to let it cook a little more and to test things. We definitely learned from Tomb about how to move things a little easier. So it's a learning curve, just like anything, especially when you want to make things bigger and better with each new game.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the more moving parts, the more interconnected pieces,
more tech and more things.
The more things to go wrong.
Can go wrong, definitely. But that's what people want. I think going forward, you're going to see escape games progress from lock boxes to second generation to these immersive environments that are Indiana Jones experiences.
Right.
And those are ones that are going to survive. And the lock boxes, if you continue to just do a bunch of lock boxes in an office room, you're not going to be around in 5 years.
Right. When you were starting, because I've heard of some escape rooms that have actors inside of it, scary actors.
Yeah.
What
I think it would be great, but
to?
logistically, we decided not to do it. To have a great actor for every single game.
Right.
And a game, for us, you can book 2 hours in advance. And so to be able to get an actor here in 2 hours that's in makeup and that is going to be consistently good, and it obviously would add to the cost and complexity of it, and it was adding a variable that I really didn't feel like we needed, and I don't think that it takes away from the game to not have an actor in it.
No, I don't either.
I'd have to play one with an actor to contrast and compare, but
I will say, I don't know whether it was on purpose or not, but at the end of the collector when we were here on Saturday, there was a door opened and footsteps. And I think it was just somebody resetting the other room, but it sounded like the collector was coming for us because we came down to the wire there.
We came real close on that.
The young girl that was with us was,
huh?
yeah.
We maintained our perfect record, but it was not pretty. It was scruffy.
Yeah, so just having that, sound in the background even was enough to put everybody on edge.
If people lose, we always said it would be great to just run in with a chainsaw.
Yeah, what does happen when you lose? I don't honestly know.
You end up in my...
No, there you go. Skull case. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't had very many losers. I mean... Not considering how many customers you've had.
Yeah.
I mean, still a lot of skulls, but don't get me wrong, it's more skulls than any sane person should have. But they'll just
nothing.
One.
No.
You just the collector comes. They come and collect you, and then let you go.
You don't get like the Price is Right trombone, the sad trombones. Because you did play We Are the Champions.
Yeah. That was funny.
Now, one thing I found interesting was, and this virtual reality is still a big deal at a lot of haunts.
Yes.
And
next big thing, I think.
You think that's what I was going to say. Do you think it's the next big thing, or do you think that the escape room side is going to provide the immersion component of virtual reality?
We are looking at, and there's a couple companies this year at Transworld who are bringing virtual reality for escape games and haunted houses.
Oh, wow.
And we're really excited to see it. And if it looks like something that we can implement, we're going to have it in right away. I think a few months ago, I purchased an Oculus and a Vive HTC.
Right.
Vive. And if you've played with one of those, you can kind of see how that this is really going to be big. And the theme parks are already starting to take notice of a lot of VR and are starting to incorporate that in. I certainly think it's got great potential to be the next big thing, for sure.
Yeah,
now, is it going to replace an actor or anything like that? There's no way that I'm ever going to be able to put 1,000 Oculus Rifts on people.
Right.
But
that's a funny image, though. You have to admit, 1,000 people walking around.
But I think it does have application as a side and a side attraction, and definitely in the escape rooms. I see potential for a great escape room there.
Yeah, I could see it in escape rooms too.
Yeah,
it makes more sense there.
Even
in my
augmented
brain.
reality, and one of our games is called The Asylum, and it was slated to be built way before Agent, and I put it on hold because I wanted to research augmented reality a little more, to incorporate it if possible into the game.
It's a pity the Google Glass went nowhere.
Yeah, really,
really good.
Yeah.
would have been a good first step, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking at VR as a side thing, and the escape games as a sort of a twin business.
Right.
And that's one of the big stories from last October was Knott's Farm and their VR game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they had to shut it down. Is that kind of the VR experience you're looking at?
Well, I didn't see exactly what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I did read that article also, and I'm not sure exactly, what the problems were with it. I think that it sounded awesome to me.
Yeah.
So we would have had it here
Okay.
for sure.
Gotcha.
Some people I think are just a little too sensitive about things.
Yeah.
Well, and it goes back to, though, trying to provide new ways of interaction for the customer at the end of the day, because with the real haunted attraction, you are pretty limited in the ways you can interact, both the actors and the customers,
Sure.
Especially in a non-touch haunt and so forth,
Right.
which is, of course, the safest and easiest way to go about it. But VR, you can actively interact with touch and punch and other things,
Sure.
get really involved with it that way. And in escape rooms, usually when the first signs you see in any haunted attraction, don't touch our stuff or some variation of it.
Right.
And escape room, please touch everything except that which is specifically marked. Do not touch. Person touching live panel during one of our escape room rides.
Yeah,
I did not do that one, for the record. That was not me.
Yeah, I got told a couple of times not to pull on stuff. So it's okay.
The bad one was someone that we got paired with was touching the live fuse box in one of the rooms.
Get her finger in it.
They were trying to. Yeah, they were about to. And
the voice of God interjected.
That's
the voice of God, Yeah. Said, don't touch
that. It's not like 110 or anything, but still.
Yeah.
Could have been quite a shocking experience.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, knowing your customer and knowing what they're going to enjoy, so.
So is there any advice you would give haunters that were looking to make a jump into doing an escape game?
Well, make sure you've got the time and the energy. I mean, because it's as time consuming. I've had a lot of friends call me who are haunt owners for different questions when they're starting their attractions, and almost to the one, they've all said, I didn't realize how much time this was going to take to do this.
Right.
We can build haunted house rooms fairly quickly, but escape is a completely different animal, and it does require a lot of time, and more time is money, of course, as you can imagine. So they can eat up a lot of money quickly trying to get born. So it is a great side business, but it's also very time consuming and something that's going to take a lot of your energy. So you got to be dedicated and ready to do it. And if you are going to do it, you need to do it the right way first. Fire marshal course, and then do your homework. You can't open an escape game unless you're a player first.
Right.
So you need to go, just like a haunted house. You wouldn't just open a haunted house without going to see some.
We've actually met someone that was trying to do exactly that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've heard of a lot of escape game owners who haven't played any escape games. So that's the number one, is get out and see as many as you can. Good ones, bad ones, it doesn't matter. Just see as many as you can.
Even do some online, just because of various experiences.
Right. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's all about value-added selling.
And then try to build something that's different from everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know that some of the arcades are now starting to get the out-of-the-box escape game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Escape rooms.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a different market than the haunted house industry getting into the same market.
Right.
But they're doing it
cheap and fast. And
exactly. Yeah, I think theirs are definitely going to go the way of the fad.
Yeah.
And just burn out.
And that was initially one of my concerns about escape games as a business model, was that this is a business area which haunted attraction owners will be competing with a wide variety of other businesses, hoping to hone in on it and really get involved. But I think the skill set that comes with running a haunted attraction plays very neatly with the skill set for making a good escape game.
Absolutely. It's just the puzzle side of it that a lot of haunts will need to do their homework on the puzzle side of it. 'Cause it definitely is about the puzzles in the end, but set design is certainly something that's been lacking in the escape game industry before. That wasn't seen before. So.
No. So video games have come up a few times. What are some of your favorites?
Oh, right now I'm stuck on Battlefield 1.
And the 5 minutes a day you get to play.
I like it because I can jump in and shoot a couple people and then jump back out again.
Right.
I do hit a lot of Resident Evil is the other one I'm playing right now, and I love that game. It's got a great. It reminds me a lot of Evil Dead, and anything that comes along that is horror based, I'm gonna take a look at it. And if I wish I could say I could play them all to the end, but unfortunately I just don't have the time. But I try to play and see movies too as much as I can for ideals.
Yeah.
Doom was one before that. It came out, and but Resident Evil, I'd say, was probably one of my favorites right now.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. We do a lot of co-op games, which is one of the reasons why I think we do relatively well in escape rooms.
Yeah.
Is we do so much co-op. Like I said, we discover keep talking and no one explodes.
Yeah. So that, and you, like you said, that's heavily influenced also.
Yeah, and
the tune. I'm an agent.
Yeah, but so and that's one of the things that I think is missing a lot in video games that escape rooms can provide. There's not very many good co-op experiences, purely co-op experiences.
No.
I mean, you get games like, your RPGs like Diablo and all that provide pretty decent co-op experiences. But as far as just like a game that purely from the outset is cooperative, it's surprisingly uncommon.
Right, sure.
And I think we've gone the way of internet competitive play, where the co-op element is you have a team.
Sure.
And you're cooperating with them. So there's a cooperative element. But room escapes, it's definitely your team.
That's right.
Against the game.
And I think that's one of the reasons it's so unique is because people don't... Well, for one thing, the first thing we do is make you put your phone up. So that's something that's uncalled. People don't do that. People do not communicate with each other anymore.
Right.
If you go to a restaurant, everyone's in their phone. They're not. They're not talking. They're not communicating. They don't play together, and they don't have a reason. Like you said, there's nothing out there that brings back cooperative play.
Yeah.
That's definitely an attraction for the other escape games is being able to put a team together and do something together.
Right.
In addition to the corporate market, is there any growth in like the birthday party market or?
We do have a lot of birthday parties and bachelorette parties and bachelor parties that come.
I have some serious questions for these bachelorette parties. I just want
We had one a couple nights ago. Matter of fact.
Yeah, they were wearing their beads.
We were there when we came.
Yes.
Yeah. I had forgotten that. You were absolutely correct. But I really do think this is a good party game because it is like one of the disadvantages of room escapes is that you can't go alone.
Right.
I can go to a haunted attraction by myself, by my lonesome, buy my one ticket, and go in. You cannot do that.
Well, you can add yourself into a group.
A group,
right.
Yeah, but it'll be a group of strangers, which most of the time that works out great. You get to meet new people, and you work together, and it works out great. Every once in a while,
you get dumbass.
You get personality conflicts, and it doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
I might have had Tweedle Dumbass on my team twice. That has happened. But but it is much more difficult to go to it individually. So it's much easier and a much more, I think, rewarding experience to have a team of some stripe to go with you. Even if it's you bringing 4 people and you join a team of 3 other people and so forth. That way you at least have your core group.
Yeah.
Right.
But and that's one of the things I like about when I was hearing the virtual reality. I was like, "Ooh, wait a minute! Single-player room escape possibilities."
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Because, like I said, that's how I got started on room escapes was the video game side of it, and so I still, in my head and somewhere deep in the bowels, think of Room Escapes as a single-player experience. And every time I play one, I have to go, no, Jonathan, you have a team, you have people around you.
To communicate.
At least the ones you brought with you are intelligent. Trust them and work with them.
Yeah, I tend to try to go and find a puzzle that nobody's working on and go over by myself.
and we try to design a large part of the game where it requires that more than one person works together, or you won't escape. Like Death Row, for example. You have to work together, or you will not escape.
Or you can just dislocate your shoulder and get the keys. I may have cheated a little bit on that one. I don't think that was the solution you guys were looking for.
Whatever works.
The freaky trick shoulder strikes again. But yeah, and I think the greatest strategy I've seen the most important thing I've seen in Room Escapes, and both talking with other players and my own experiences, is that everybody has to be observant and be able to communicate what they observed when the questions arise. Because you're not going to see everything.
Right.
There's just no chance in heck.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to see every little detail, every little scrawling, or every little what.
You have to communicate.
And so when someone says, I need a 4-digit code for blank,
and
someone across the room goes, oh, wait a minute, I saw a 4-digit code back there.
Yeah.
So that's the skill I think that's most important, even more than problem solving in some ways.
Right. Teamwork.
Because the problem solving part usually is fairly straightforward. Like you know what problem you're trying to solve.
Right.
But you have to work together to do it. Ideally, it's not meant to be a college level course.
Right.
We're not asking you to solve for X and long calculus. Well, okay, wait a minute.
I have been in a few that have calculus.
I did forget about the little algebra sequence that someone may have included in a Room Escape.
Maybe.
Not naming anyone. Not naming Dwayne by name here.
Just a little one.
But yeah. So but no, I mean, I'm really glad it's been as successful as it has for you guys. I'm really glad it's going as well, and they seem to have found some good year-round traction with it.
Appreciate it.
And I think one of the things that helped you was that you got in early.
We did.
You were real early. You were before Rise.
Yeah.
You were before anyone else, really.
Yeah, there was only a few in the States, I believe, when we jumped in.
I know you were the first in South Louisiana.
Yeah. Clue Carré was ahead of us. They
really?
opened before us. Yeah.
Well, tell them to promote better. Because I had no idea.
Yeah, they were open a few months before us.
Yeah, you do have the branding and the built-in loyalty to the brand, too.
That helped us all.
So even if you were a few months later, you were able to get the word out faster at the same time. Right. But yeah, so I think that's great, and I guess, something to think about for other haunters. It's a lot of work is what I keep hearing, though. And this is a guy that's no stranger to work, and he's warning you about the work.
And should we take a few minutes to talk about the upcoming attraction?
Oh, yes,
completely different.
Oh, gosh, yes, I'm sorry.
Because I know we've got like 5
We got like 5 to 10 minutes, so we're fine.
Okay.
We got a few minutes.
So, Zombie Apocalypse, April 28th and 29th in Necropolis 13, our haunted cemetery. We will have laser tag, zombie shooting. The weapons are realistic, military weapons, and you and your team will go in and shoot zombies.
What team sizes?
About anywhere from 1 to 8. So
1 if you're suicidal, 8 if you want to have a chance.
Right. And you have to go through and try to make it through the cemetery and shooting zombies. So a lot of fun. And it's a great Walking Dead experience.
And knowing Necropolis 13 as well as I do, not as well as the people who work here, obviously, but I've been through it.
Yeah.
More than my fair share.
This is our third time doing it, and it's been successful every time we do it, and a lot of fun for people. It's a different, unique experience. Very interactive and adrenaline pumping fun for sure.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I know in Necropolis, I know there's going to be a lot of hiding places.
Definitely.
For the zombies.
We move our cast around into different spots for this particular venue. And they also are not contained in one small area. They have a larger area to roam in, and they move a little faster and are after you. And
So they're fast zombies.
They're a little fast.
Well, yeah. I mean, fun if they're all slow and easy to kill.
Yeah.
But no, that sounds really exciting. I think I'm going to try to go.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this.
Sounds like we should get tickets early.
Yes, it does.
Anyone
Definitely.
listening?
Yeah.
We'll have to muster up a team. I don't think we're going to be doing it with our core group.
We could do it, the two of us.
Okay, yeah. Yes, I would actually trust you to get my back. How many guys can say that about their own friend? Oh, but yeah, it's going to be. I think it sounds like a great time, and
yeah.
I think we know some people who went last year. You did it last year, correct?
We did. We did it in July last year, which probably wasn't the best month to do. It was a little warm.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot.
Wasn't just the zombie stinking,
right?
Yeah.
And then we did it again in November, right after the haunt closed. The weekend after we did it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw the ads for November. Yeah.
Some of our friends did go to it and said it was a great time.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to giving it a shot ourselves, quite literally, as the case may be. So yeah, what's the date again?
April 28th and 29th.
April 28th and 29th at Necropolis 13.
Yeah.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Well, is there anything else you want to ask? Any final thoughts?
Do you have anything for us?
I appreciate y'all including me on the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so generous with your time.
I know you're so busy, and here we are taking up 2 hours of your time, but hopefully this will reach out to some people out there that this information will help, and you can provide some guidance to the future generation of haunters.
Great, thank you.
Someone that hopefully...
You're like, more competition.
Yes. Just don't open up in Baton Rouge, it'll be okay. But yes, once again, Dwayne Sanburn, the 13th Gate, Necropolis 13, 13th Gate Escape. I'm going to get all these right eventually.
And Zombie Apocalypse.
And Zombie Apocalypse that's coming up. That's if I recall correctly, there's also a touring thing. They have other locations they're doing.
Yeah, they'll be at Transworld also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yes, all kinds of crazy stuff here in downtown Baton Rouge. I am surprised the city has survived the onslaught. But thank you again for the past 2 hours. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. We'll just close out by saying follow us at Haunt Weekly, both on Twitter and Facebook. Follow Dwayne and 13th Gate at... your website is
13thgate.com
13thgate.com
or 13thgateescape.com
or 13thgateescape.com, and they have the Twitter, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff there. Give them a like, and while you're there, you can probably laugh at our photos from the 13th Gate Escape we did on Saturday, and our absolutely pathetic Agent 13 time. Oh
yeah, yeah, it was bad.
I didn't know the numbers went up that high if you were walking away.
Y'all did scan a lot.
Well, at the end we couldn't hear, so yeah.
You know, this is what beta testing.
That was beta test.
Yeah. It doesn't really count.
We don't count.
We'll come back and nail it. But
that'll be easy. That's called cheating. No. We don't play that. We play these games straight. But on that note, thank you again for the past hour. Thank you, Dwayne, for the past 2 hours. Yeah. And we will see you guys next week. Once again, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this has been Haunt Weekly, episode number 70, sitting down with Dwayne, talking about room escapes. We'll see you guys next week.